Joining me now is Steve from Paradiso. Paradiso is a well-known brand with almost 30 years in the community. With a location both in Burlington and downtown Oakville, Paradiso is a great favorite for community members, whether it's an important dinner out or just a night out. Steve, thank you for joining me today. I'd love to start talking with what the journey through COVID has been like for Paradiso.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that we're getting on 2 years now. But it started with a shock. What are we going to do? How do we survive? How do we deliver the brand during all of the unknowns? And that's the troubling part is you try to make a plan for the future. And I think one of the big lessons learned is you can't plan for the future right now. So it's been week by week, day by day, month by month, where we used to plan months out, seasons out. August I'd be planning for Christmas, and now I haven't even planned Valentine's yet this year because I don't know what that looks like. So that's been the hardest part. Right at the beginning, we had to decide we're not. Our brand was typically prided on great service and atmosphere as well as great food. So we weren't sure if takeout was our thing and how long it was going to last. So we closed for a little bit, and then we refreshed the restaurants. We thought we'd have some time to get some things done, and then we just we kind of saw the writing on the wall. It was going to last longer than planned. So we had to make adjustments, and we did.
You're one of those restaurants too that has the ability to have a patio open through the winter as well, especially the Burlington location. How are you seeing the traffic on the patio, especially with those Canadians in the Canadian winter?
Yeah, you know what? So even last year, Oakville, it's our patio there is on town property, so they make the decisions. Last year, because of this situation, they allowed us to keep the patio through the winter. This year, they didn't see that happening, so we don't have the patio option in Oakville. But for both winters, you'd be surprised how many people we had out there. If it was just people that just wanted to sit and dine, or people that had a reason they couldn't come inside, or we weren't allowed to have them inside. So in this current lockdown, we're going on a week now. I think we've had probably 20 tables out on the patio in Burlington, and people are okay with it. It's out of the wind. We got a little propane heater, keeps people warm. But I think once they have a beer, a glass of wine, and they're chatting with friends, they kind of forget about it.
It's nice to be out and feel a little bit normal when we can, especially on a patio. One of the things that we hear often is that takeout to help out and how we can help restaurants by taking out. But what does the Uber Eats and Skip the Dishes and those delivery services do to the restaurant support that you might be getting if we were to perhaps come and pick up that takeout?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways to look at it. So I guess the clear cut of it is their businesses as well. So they need to make money somehow. A lot of people don't know, depending on what the aggregator is, DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, their portion of the sale, they take about between 20 and 30% of that sale. So if you came to us and spent $100, that $100 comes to us. If you spent $100 through Uber Eats, we get $70 of it. So in a situation where we're, tilting, we're a regular business and the restaurant's full, for us to cook that extra meal to send out to Uber Eats, it's an acceptable loss because we're already here doing it. In these current stages, it really helps us get our food out. We run a fresh food concept. So, it's not like we pull it out of the freezer and throw it in a deep fryer or something every time we get an order. So the more food that we can send out, regardless of what it costs us, the better it is for everybody. And in this current situation, we're doing our best to keep as many people employed as we can. So as long as we can cover some costs, they've helped out a lot that way. But obviously coming into the restaurant, letting us greet you and see your friendly face and all that stuff lets us deliver the atmosphere and service as well.
Steve, you brought up a really great point. Restaurants, it's all about the community and the staff as well, and sort of that vibe that they create. And Paradiso has done a wonderful job in trying to keep as many of their staff and team employed throughout the pandemic. We hear a lot about shortages, though, and being able to keep staff on. What has that looked like through Paradiso and for the restaurant industry?
Yeah, the industry has been decimated with this situation. Part of why we're doing our best to keep people on in this current lockdown. Last year, we, spent an unbelievable amount of money advertising jobs and, advertised for 6 or 7 months to hire 1 or 2 cooks. So that's all we could get, servers the same. So we're doing our best to keep those people employed so that they can stay with us through the long term. But that's been the strategy, and the lack of work for them has been the hardest part, is employment, for sure.
This show is all about community and how we support and how we all reach out and work together within community. And I know Paradiso is very active within their community. We see you at events and always involved whenever you can be. Can you talk to us a little bit about the events and the give backs that Paradiso does within community?
Absolutely. I mean, right from the get-go in Burlington specifically, we opened in 2003. Our plan here for advertising was more about delivering our food to people than, just throwing money around. So specific, we do a lot of, if we can do something where we're providing our food, we're there. Lakeside a la carte, for sure. A lot of the Rotary events we're in. We sponsored the Sound of Music Festival for quite a long time. We do stuff with United Way. During the first lockdown, both restaurants donated about $4,000 in fresh food to a couple of local food banks. And we do our best to, keep ourselves involved. And, we get emails all the time, are you interested? And usually the answer is just yes. And how can we help? And we do our best to be part of the community because, Burlington is a community, and so is Oakville. They're very tight knit. So when they see your name, it's bigger than just running in a magazine or a piece of paper.
Steve, just in closing, what is your hope for Paradiso for 2022?
Yeah, just to get back to being able to deliver that service and atmosphere. And, everybody that works here just loves seeing people happy. And if we can get people in here celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, I know some people that turned 40 last year and they just pretend that didn't happen. So now they're turning 40 this year, and hopefully we can celebrate with everybody. And that's the best part. Just the buzz and the feel in the restaurant is really all we're looking for.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for all that Paradiso does for the community and for creating that special place for us when we will be back in restaurant. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Take care.